An overview here of the Xvision professional 32 channel DVR that I have on the table in front of me here. This really is a top-end DVR in many aspects. Number one, because of its capacity, we can connect in up to 32 cameras. In terms of its storage capacity, it has an internal storage capacity of a max of 12 terabytes, and in terms of the picture resolution on it, it can handle D1, which is full commercial level picture quality. Okay. So because of its specifications, the price, etc., this is really just used for professional commercial work, okay? So we'll start off maybe then by having a look at exactly what equipment comes in the box along with the DVR itself. So over here we have the actual power unit. Then we have a remote control and a set of AAA batteries. We have two brackets that can be used either side for mounting the DVR in a racking system. Then we have this series of brackets here which can actually be used for mounting a series of internal hard drives. And what I've done here is I've just given a demonstration of how we've done this. So what would happen is we just bolt a bracket either side of an actual hard drive here. And what we do is we just screw it down into the base of the DVR. So we can add on a second hard drive on at this point here as well and put a second one. So it gives a total capacity inside of 4 hard drives with a storage capacity of 12 terabytes if they were up to the max of 3 terabytes each. Then we have a series of screws and bolts here which should be used for screwing basically the hard drive and the brackets into position. We have a very brief written user manual here and a much more detailed one on this CD, and then we have a series of SATA cables here which are basically used for connecting in the internal hard drives into the DVR. So let's just look at the front of the DVR here then. So what we have here is we have just a series of buttons. So we have just a lock button here, we have a DVD writer here, we have a USB port here where we can add on an external USB key or a hard drive, particularly if we were doing a backup of some recording. So we just move then along here and we have a series of buttons here. The number of buttons allow us to select which camera we want to look at, and also we can do play, backup, stop, etc. So just really a duplication of the functionality that we find on the remote control itself. And then finally we have the DVR, or we have the PTZ controlling here, okay? So you can just arrow up, down, left, right. So what I'll do at that point is I'm just going to rotate around this DVR here. So if we look at the actual inputs that we have here, we have a total of 32 B and C inputs here, so we can see them just in rows of 16 here. And moving down to the next line there, what we have is the audio input here. There's a total of 16 there inputs and a total of 2 outputs here. When we move down to the bottom line there, we have another USB port. We have 16 alarm wiring ports here, okay? And then we'll say we have the ability to add on actual auxiliary equipment. So we can just see here 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have a situation here where if an alarm has been triggered, you can log in, we'll say, from your smartphone onto the DVR, and you might then be able to come along and access an auxiliary piece of equipment such as a light and to turn it on directly from it. So that's obviously quite a handy feature. We have a Vga output here, so that'll be just connecting directly to a monitor. We have an IR infrared output here. We have a HDMI output here, which is obviously a great feature because it just gives full high definition picture directly to a TV or a monitor, etc. There's a switch here for selecting between NTSC or PAL. Obviously the default there is PAL because that's what we use. And then we have a LAN port here for connecting this into a network, internet, etc. And finally then, if we look over here with the final two, we have an eSATA port here, so we wanted to add on external hard drives in addition to what the internal ones here, and we have a power port here. There's no B and C output on this, interestingly. The simpler DVRs in this series always do have these, but because this is commercial grade, you know, normally what you'll be using is something like the HDMI output here, getting the full HD picture on it. So that's it anyway, an overview of the Xvision 32 channel professional DVR.